Oh hey everyone, it's MrFlyingPigHD here. The sun is shining. In fact, it's shining right in my freaking eyes. But I don't care because I finished work and I'm going to make a little video for you guys. Paper Talk episode 2. Today, Wednesday the 8th of April 2015. I'm just going to talk about the news in the national papers. Just want to say thanks for the response for the last video, the first in this series. Got a really positive response from it, so just want to say thanks to everyone who commented and watched that video and chuck a like on it. You're a bunch of legends. Let's kick it off with the Independent, or the Independent as normal people call it. They say Rafa Benitez is considering a return to England next season and another crack at management, a development which would put him in contention to become Manchester City manager if the club decide to replace Manuel Pellegrini this summer, which they probably will, because he's been absolutely gash of late for them. So, shocking. And he looks sort of like Dracula as well, so get rid of him because he's a bit scary. But Rafa Benitez, I mean, I would absolutely love Rafa Benitez to take over Manchester City because I just think Rafa Benitez is a bit of a shit manager, to be honest with you. Am I the only person that thinks that? Yeah, he won, the La Liga with Valencia or whoever it was back in the day, no mean feat. And then also the Champions League with Liverpool in 2004, more freaking luck than judgment, I'd say. So, I mean, since then, downhill. So, personally, I'd love it if he went to Manchester City because I think he'd just have even more of a debacle than Pellegrini has of late, to be honest. Daily Telegraph, Rafael Benitez is a man in demand. Oh, it's about freaking Rafael Benitez again. What? Man in demand, it would seem. He is emerging as a serious contender to become the next West Ham manager if the club can't convince David Moyes to return to the Premier League. Well, I mean, West Ham are having an absolute shocker if they're getting rid of Allardyce in the first place, even though they have had a bit of a shocker of late. Rafa Benitez, I mean, I don't think he'd go to West Ham, a club with a lower status than a lot of clubs he's been at, so I don't think he'd do that unless he was seriously up for a challenge, which I don't think he's freaking capable of. So, no, David Moyes, on the other hand, though, going to Real Sociedad, done well with them, hasn't he? Turned their fortunes around. He's a good manager with average sides, you know. Yeah, he's good. He can do good on a shoestring budget. Fair play to the lad. Can't freaking manage a big club, though, in my opinion. But he is a good manager. I think West Ham would be a perfect club for him if he was going to come back to England and manage, which I don't freaking see why he would want to do that because he pretty much thinks, I would imagine, that everybody freaking hates him over here. So I don't think he would really want to do that right now. I think he'd probably rather stay in Spain and continue next season with Sociedad, try and improve their position come the end of the season. Although, you know, I've heard that the supermarkets over there are selling out of Factor 100 freaking sunscreen. So I don't know if he will want to stay in Spain too much longer. We shall see. Now, the Daily Mirror says, let's take this seriously now because it's the Daily freaking Mirror. Samir Nasri will head a summer clear-out at Manchester City and could be offered to Juventus in a deal that brings in £60 million rated Paul Pogba. Poggers. Now, is this something that could happen? I think it could happen, actually. Why wouldn't Manchester City spend that money? Wouldn't Paul Pogba love it? Just to spite Manchester United a little bit if he joined our rivals. He's basically gone over to Juventus and absolutely torn up the league this season. Been ridiculous, man. I mean, it's kind of gutting that we didn't keep hold of him when he was a young talent, but, you know, Fergie didn't really like his freaking attitude, man. So, at the time, can understand it, although he did put his freaking faith in Tom Cleverley. Looks like that freaking particular head-to-head has turned out in the opposite favour that we freaking wanted it to. But could Juventus sell Paul Pogba for £60 million? I think that's the sort of money they could not turn down. I think Manchester City could afford that. Samir Nasri going the other way. It's a bit of a freaking crazy amount of money. But I don't see why Samir Nasri would want to leave Manchester City. I don't see why they'd want him to leave Manchester City either because, yeah, he doesn't start every single game, but he's a good player to have around the squad, and he does do well for them when he plays. So, you know, I'd keep Samir Nasri if I was Manchester City, but what the frickin' hell do I know? Move on to the Daily Star now, the cornerstone of English journalism. Stoke City star Asmir Begovic says there's nothing sinister in his delay over signing a new deal. The £20 million rated keeper, reported target for Liverpool, as is every freaking other keeper in the world, says people are reading too much into him not putting pen to paper. Well, basically, Asmir, just freaking sign or leave it at the end of the season, mate. You're having mares, pal. You know, just freaking sign. You're obviously not wanting to stay there. I don't blame you. Stoke City, you're probably a better keeper than Stoke City. Certainly a club like Liverpool may want him, although Mignolet's been improving of late, but he's still gash. Anyway, the Daily Express, PSV's Memphis Depay and PSG's Edinson Cavani are Manchester United's top targets to replace Robin van Persie and Radamel Falcao this summer. or certainly Radamel Falcao, because he has been absolutely gash-tassed since coming to Manchester. Shocking freaking season he's had, it must be said. Great to see the back of him. In terms of Memphis Depay, what a young talent he is. I'd definitely have him at the freaking club. Louis van Gaal knows him. Good young talent. I'd definitely take him. What a player he is. Get into Manchester United right freaking now, Louis. Edinson Cavani to replace Falcao. I don't know about Cavani. Anytime I've ever seen him play against an English club, he's been pretty freaking average. He does do well over there in League One, but I don't rate that league that much. I don't watch it that much, to be perfectly honest with you. But anytime I've seen him, pretty freaking average, mate. If you're going to get a player from that team, let's get Zlatan Ibrahimovic up front. Complete arrogance, complete class. Just an absolute beast, didn't he? I think he really fit Manchester United. So yeah, that's an option. In terms of Robin van Persie, it's saying here, Manchester United's target is to replace Robin van Persie. I mean, do we need to replace Robin van Persie next season? Yeah, he's getting old. Yeah, he might not be quite as good as he was last season, but, I mean, yeah, he's had a shit season, but come on, this is Robin freaking van Persie we're talking about. I love freaking Robin van Persie. I don't want to see him leave the club, even if he just becomes our second, third choice striker, whatever. He's a top freaking quality player to have around, man. I'd like to see him stay at Manchester United next season and us go out there and sign a top quality freaking striker, but I don't know what's going to freaking happen. I definitely have Memphis to pay at the club. I'd definitely say to Radamel Falcao, a jog on, son. Anyway, that's my paper talk episode for the day. Keep it short, this one. There's not that much going on in the footballing world today. These videos are kind of cool because there's always stuff going on with these national newspapers. And if there's not, they just pretty much freaking make stuff up. So there's always stuff that I can talk about, which is good because there's never enough stuff to make videos about. So I'll just keep doing these if they keep getting watched and, people seem to respond to them well. So thanks very much for watching this video. Let me know what you think about all of the topics discussed in the video today, especially the points there of Memphis Depay and possibly Edinson for Cavani being targets for Manchester United, and also Falcao and Robin van Persie leaving Manchester United. What do you think about that? Would you keep Robin van Persie? Would you keep Radamel Falcao? Anyway, thanks very much for watching. This is MrFlyingPigHD. Chuck a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Until next time, thanks very much for watching. Come on, United!